Okay, so would you want a guy to ask you out, or are you that kind of girl that walks up to him and I'm like, guy, I like you, let's do this?
Yeah, so I want what I want, and when I want what I want, I go for what I want and I get it.
Wait,
And you get it.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Hi everyone, this is It Is What It Is. I'm Kosy and this is
Goodness. My friends call me Oh My Goodness.
Yeah, we're your hosts, and today we have two amazing people here with us today, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Hi. No, go first, please.
Okay, I'm the shrew, the only Nigerian virgin.
Sorry, what? Wait, what? You're the who?
What?
Shrew.
True. And the only word?
Nigerian virgin.
Please spell please so like people can know. Yeah.
SHREW.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
I thought she said true.
No.
No, shoe, like
True,
shoe.
like
Yeah.
shoe.
What does that mean?
It's a stubborn woman.
Okay, violence. I like it.
like-
Let's go.
Okay, what about you?
I'm a Christian.
Hi,
You're a Christian or you're a
Christian.
Christian?
Hello, Lagosian Christian. My name is Isaac. Isaac
Newton.
Odubesan. I like to refer to myself as Lagos boy because I'm a Lagos boy. I grew up in this Lagos. I know the streets well. Plus I also run Very Single Lagosians, which is a social dating community for Lagosians.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, guys.
Okay, so today we have something very interesting to talk about, and I'm gonna pull stories out of you because okay. So the topic for today is chase or be chased. Which would you prefer? So let's start with this.
I think we should start with the Very Single Lagosian.
right, because I feel like he has enough experience.
Exactly.
No, you're not.
Let's
do
go.
that.
Yeah.
That's how we.
No, you're not stereotyping.
Who should make the first move?
In life or in relationship.
Did you not hear what we were saying?
Chase or being chased looks like a spiritual attack.
Calm down.
Okay.
Eh,
But wait, you said in
Boy.
life. Are you not supposed to make the first move in life?
And sometimes
Is it
Sometimes
God
life
that
makes
you
the
should
move
wait for
on.
life to
So in my opinion, I think it depends.
depends on.
Yeah, it's past the where and where you guys are. I think that the most thing is that people just don't know how to read the room or read the time, you know, where they get to meet the person. And that's why there are a lot of, you know, because what kind of breakfast is breakfast before dating? There's breakfast for that you don't know.
You've not even
When
got
you
into
doing that,
relationship
yeah,
and
but
You're just
you've been
expressing
served.
your emotions.
But the person doesn't agree at all.
And the person is just turning down your emotions.
Jesus.
You know, so I think that's deep. I think it's even a spiritual cleansing. When you're done.
No,
I forgot to mention that I'm a spiritual leader of Lagosians. Single Lagosians.
You probably have a lot of stories because like you're running a dating kind of thing, right?
No, but no, it's a business. So I have a lot of stories. No, maybe not personal, sha. Maybe other.
Okay. No, not your own. Like some
Oh, you
people-
can tell
Yeah,
us.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay.
So let's go. Let's go with true.
Okay.
Okay, so I think there's a foundational problem with the question you're asking me. Because chasing is different from asking. So are you saying chase or be chased, or ask or be asked?
Comments,
Brilliant
chasing.
stubborn woman.
I'm telling you, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you want a guy to ask you out, or are you that kind of girl that walks up to him and I'm like, guy, I like you, let's do this?
Yeah, so I want what I want, and when I want what I want, I go for what I want and I get it.
Wait,
And you
say
get
again. I like that. Just say it again. I want to write it in
Yeah.
my head.
I said I want what I want, and when I want what I want, I go for it and I get it.
Okay, so you're trying to say that you are always the one who goes after the guy?
No, not always. I mean, there are times when guys have asked me out, but when
Yeah,
you
times.
know, like I've accepted. There are times I've also made the move and I've been turned down, but there are also like times when I've made the move and I've gotten it right.
Wow.
Like in my
That works.
present relationship.
Okay,
You made
but
the move. Wow.
Wait, you shot a shot in
Yeah.
your present relationship.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
pretty-
You have,
interesting.
you have friends that.
Oh, she's getting married.
Ladies, did you hear that? Shoot
You have-
your shot.
you have
Immediately.
friends that-
Don't waste time.
Well,
Say they are friends that
Yeah.
go and lead your flock of single Lagosians.
Well, I need such people in life.
Wow.
The truth people.
Really?
That's
Okay,
the-
true. I'm sorry, I keep calling you true. True. True.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm very interested in this now. So you said that if you want something, you go for it. But which would you prefer? Which one are you more inclined to? Because you said people have asked you out and you accepted. So was it that you saw the person, you didn't really like him, but then he asked you and you're like, oh, sure, let me just go for it? Because it sounds like if you had liked him, you should have probably been the first person to be like, you nigga, let's do this.
Okay, so as females, I think that there are times when we want to be pursued.
Okay.
But like, you know, you can sense when a guy is into you, but then he's shy, and then you're like, okay, I'm just going to help you do it. But then there are times where you know this guy can't do this thing and you want him to go full out and pursue you, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. And then there are times when guys ask you out, you're not really into them, but then you're like, okay, this thing might turn out to be better than what it is now, so you're like, okay, let me give this a chance.
Okay.
But most times it ends up badly, so don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So you don't advise girls, don't try it.
Shooting your shot. Like,
No, that's
right.
right. I'm talking about like in cases where someone makes advances or passes at you or should ask you out. You're not really into the person, but you do it out of pity.
Okay.
I don't advise that.
Wait, so
Speechless.
so yeah. So when I ask you out now, you will not accept out of pity.
Yeah, because like I like you, but like not like that.
Don't use me as an example.
But I like goodness, but not like that. But then like I'm like, but maybe later.
why
But
you do
I don't want
that?
to break his. I don't.
So
want
you're
to
not
break
accept
his-
out of pity.
I rather you tell me no immediately.
Yeah, a lot of women
you see-
actually do it.
You see the problem that
where they date people out of pity.
you see all those that they'll go and propose to in ICM and they'll say no. You see the
Demons.
You see the circumstance.
But okay, wait.
Moving on.
What about you?
Yeah.
Which one are you more inclined? I know before you said it depends, but which one are you more inclined to? Are you the kind of guy who actually go to your babe and be like, "See, girl, I want you."
So for me, I think that when you like someone, it's a two-way street. And I think that for some women, they are comfortable to show you how they feel. And then you can just pick what they have and then run with it. I'm very open to women expressing how they feel. I'm not stereotyped. I think that if you like somebody, you can, and there are ways to this, So the thing is, you might not necessarily come out of, but somebody's calling you every day and say, have you slept? Have you? It's time to move on, to ask and go closer to the person.
Yeah.
You're going to the cinema and then the person is trying to lay your head on your shoulder.
Wait.
In my shoulder. I don't accept.
The person could just be tired.
I know.
No, but I'm saying that
If I don't like you, my head is not going anywhere.
Do you understand? If you don't like the
See,
person, this things happen.
you can read energy. There are just some people that are blind. You have to read energy.
Yeah.
The energy is not
But wait,
there.
hold on.
Just
Because
get out.
there are some people that are shy and they don't even, they're too shy to even make any.
No,
obvious
you know when
moves.
someone is shy, actually.
Are you
Like
sure?
you will see it. Like you will see it from
sometimes no.
So you're saying that
reaction.
no one is oblivious. You've never been oblivious. Maybe a girl likes you, you just did not know until she opened her mouth to say.
Keep quiet,
Sometimes, let me exist. That one, that one. Because sometimes you guys are transitioning from pure platonic, friendship.
Yeah.
And then and all of your friends are saying, "I know this girl likes you. Are you not saying it?" And I'm like, I don't know. But because you can't really differentiate between, that care thing. And then what she's trying to do extra, and
Okay.
but at some point, I want to know Lagos way. I don't know.
normal.
I know. But I think that this thing about, I feel like you can just communicate. And this thing about like having like 3 types of communication. The old avoidance guys, the ones that what's the other one? Secured, and what's the other one?
I don't know.
You don't know that
Enlighten us.
thing. So there's avoidance, there's secured, and there is what's that one where you're not forgotten. I don't remember. Continue. I'll think about it.
So from what he said, like I'm getting a revelation from above that there's the chasing that happens before the relationship, and then there's the chasing that happens after the relationship.
Like you're already in and someone is still chasing.
Yes.
Why?
That's not.
So-
How do you mean?
no.
Wait, really? Let
Why
her
you still
explain.
running?
In a relationship,
Yeah.
there are people who want to be doted on.
How
They
do you
want-
mean? They want
Let
to
me
be...
use women because our wala is too much.
Yeah.
women get into relationships.
Yeah.
And they still want you to pursue them in that relationship. Like they want to feel like
God.
a queen and more.
There's a difference
On, like,
between
another level.
seeking,
And
like
it happens the
attention.
other way. No, it's not attention. No. So let me
Like,
give you this.
give
Why
me
do you want to be
example.
pursued when you're in a
Is
relationship?
it-
Yeah, I want
that one I'm looking for. I'm looking
explain
for
more. Let's
example.
explain
I'll
more.
give you an
Add
example.
context.
So I dated somebody who his own was madness, Sha.
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Because this guy, first of
Chill,
all, I
mama.
was very young,
Okay.
first off, and then like I think he took advantage of that. And then after I got into the relationship, I realized that I was chasing him in the sense that I was the one calling, all the time. I was one who cared more.
That's what I meant by chasing. Okay.
I was the one that would make the move to go and see
In a
him.
relationship with yourself.
Kilo
God,
day.
I beg.
And like, you know, one time he didn't pick my calls for like 2 weeks. And then like, when he finally picked up, he told me that he passed out for 2 weeks.
He passed out.
He passed out.
You just checked
for
out
2 weeks.
That should be a new
in his
excuse.
room. And I'm
What?
like, no. And you know
No, but
that
Lagos
was,
boys-
you know how I knew I was
Does he think
stupid?
she's daft?
Lagos boys-
No. And I was actually very stupid. Do you know how I confirmed that I was stupid?
How?
I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, babe.
Ah.
I'm so sorry. Are you
How
feeling?
old were
That's
you?
okay, I was 17 at the time. I was just in my second year and at the university. So
Wow.
17
yeah,
in
Wow.
200 level.
yeah.
That's young.
When did you get out of? Anyway, sorry for another day. Continue.
So I was obsessed with the idea of him and in the relationship. Like I thought it was something I wanted to really have at that point, but then I just realized he was playing me the whole time.
Yeah. What made you
Was he the one that
realize?
asked you out?
Yeah, he asked me out.
What made you realize? Because there has to be a point of like
Yeah, the point
it
of
clicked.
that was
Checking out
actually the point of clarity, but my eyes did not see clear until I now later found out actually that he was cheating. Like,
Wow. So wait, you checked out for 2 weeks. Why did he now ask you? Like, I don't get. Guys are
so
strange.
the thing was that he just wanted
you
to
not
Sorry.
generalize circumstance.
Exactly.
So,
Thank you.
Let me
Thank
give you
you.
the gist. The food gist
Okay.
is that.
Because I remember what I was
But
going
I'm
to
a
say,
virgin.
but
I can't
okay.
say it. Sorry, Bele.
Ah,
Sorry.
Jesus
So I
Christ.
just remembered my virgin status. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't reveal that information.
I really. Well, I was going to say that, what I was saying earlier
Yeah.
about, I think it's called communication techniques or styles, but there's the anxious, avoidant, and secured.
Okay.
So the idea is that you are with people. Some people are anxious, and these are the guys that want to call you and say, "Where are you?" And so these things are even from by trauma or sort of things, or past relationships, or
Yeah.
your parenthood or whatever that is, or your childhood. Sorry, and so they'll call you. How are you? Where are you? Have you woken? Have you eaten? Have you?
Now what?
Yeah, and they're always there.
Yeah.
And then there's avoidant though. If you want to, I can't pick your call. I'm there. I'm checking out. And they're secured. They're okay. They don't need anybody to compliment themselves. They're fine.
Yeah.
The three, I know. So the worst case is when an anxious person meets an avoidant person. Can't work.
Yeah.
So you're anxious.
I think that's
And
what-
The rest is avoiding. Can't work.
Yeah.
So the pair is either we're anxious, secured, avoidant, secured.
Secured. Okay, it has to be.
Avoidance,
Secured has to be there.
avoidance.
That's not a relationship.
We're not going to
Yes,
just
that is
That's why
working.
unavoidable differences.
I swear.
Fair.
So you're saying
man.
it's impossible.
So not like it's so these things are not even cast in stone.
Okay.
The idea is that sometimes you can be anxious and then you transition to avoidant.
Okay.
Maybe because of trauma or issues. Sometimes you are
Okay.
avoidant and then you are transitioned to secure
Yeah.
because of yes. But my point is, at no time should you ever feel, anything should be very toxic to you or feel like you're not yourself anymore. If somebody makes you feel that way, you need to check out and understand that if you keep on being here, because I've had this story before, cool story. Hey,
Please enlighten
I
us.
hope you don't watch this podcast. But if you do, it's your problem. So this girl, amazing girl. I liked her. We chilled. Is she amazing? Sha? Hear the story. So we chilled and we're vibing and all.
Yeah.
And then we decided to go out
Yeah.
3 times. 3 good times. We'll pick a date for like maybe 9:30 in the evening dinner. And exactly at 9 o'clock, she'll stop picking her calls.
What?
Psycho.
Exactly.
Lagos. Psycho.
For you to know, that means like you
So
it was
and
consistent.
and then she would stop picking her calls and she will not even say, I'm sorry I couldn't make it or anything. And then she texts me for 2 o'clock. Now this is me like driving around. Are you okay? Did you die? I've checked everywhere. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I think that the best thing you owe somebody is just to say, sorry, I can't make it anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes even 10:30. My mother was not even here. I'm going up at 10:30. You understand?
Yeah.
But
What was her reason?
no reason.
No,
like she
there's always
just
a
supposedly
reason.
like just
No, so for her, she would say that I don't know, she'll say when we like talk and all, that she'll say that so she was not in a great place, blah blah blah. But here's the good part.
okay.
I didn't realize that was the problem.
You.
You were
Yes.
the problem.
Yeah, let me tell you why. Because I felt like I'd not undergone like there was a particular trauma in my life I didn't fix, which is I was used to waiting for people. And this happened when I was in my primary school where my mom was working in an oil company then and would close really late. So I'm the child that would never go home by 1 p.m. If you want to get a tissue, ask for. It's very emotional. So I'm trying that will not close for everybody going by 12, 1, 3. I'm here till 7, 8. So I'll keep looking. Is my mom here? Is my mom here? Is my mom here?
Crazy.
Do you understand? So
that's a lot of self-awareness.
Yes, I realized that I did not.
So it didn't bother you immediately?
Yes.
Whoa.
But why? I asked myself, because a normal knows, because after the first one, she'll have blocked the person.
Yeah, normal.
Yes.
No, calm down. After the first one.
Normal.
That you will not call, you will not chat me up and
you
say,
will not text back.
What if she fainted?
No, that's a different
Are you not joking? You check back. Like, you will literally call back. Like, you text me at 2 a.m. and say, Isaac,
I slept off.
No, I slept off.
No, you said the
last
first
one was
time
so
now.
wait. The last one was so vivid.
Okay.
Like, I even like, I was like, oh, where are you? It's like, I'm right, don't worry, I'm coming. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get dinner. Do you want? No, because we're going to a particular cinema. I don't want to mention. Okay. Like, to cinema. I've gotten new friends. I bought new clothes.
You bought clothes?
I bought new clothes. In the morning, I went to.
My God.
Prepared to be stood up.
Like, I went boutique, lovely. I can't remember. I can't forget. Pink shirts. No, yellow. With lovely pencil. I was flying that day. Bought fuel.
I'm so pained. Like, I'm not even going. I'm inside the story. I'm pained.
You know, but again, it's not a sad story.
Yeah.
The important part is that I became self-aware. And I'll bring it back to context about, so sometimes the problem is that focusing too much on who will make the first move, it's like focusing too much on the wedding other than the marriage. That's what happens. Because at the end of the day, it's what happens afterward.
I disagree.
Okay, because sometimes the first move doesn't really matter. So let me finish my premise. So I'm saying that for the first move or words for is if you are because if somebody approaches me or because of the kind of relationship we have and then we get into a relationship and say she likes me, that's okay. Do you get? I mean, this is in context. Yeah. The biggest issue I have is people that take one night stand to relationship. I'm confused. But it can happen.
But it can happen. No,
but it's 0.1%. What happens is that you can have one night stand and stay apart for a while and then come back, say you like you.
Let's do this well.
No, because if you jump the gun, there's process. If you jump the gun, you can date, no problem. But if you jump that gun and then you're not getting into a relationship and then you guys are having issues, because the problem is that you people have not passed through chemistry and compatibility. So what's going on is that both of you are just there, and you feel like only thing that matters is.
Bro, why are you single? Like, you have so much. How?
There's a wealth of wisdom.
You know, that's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm like, okay, wow.
So okay.
I don't.
Okay, let's hear Shrew.
Yeah, in some aspects, because I think the issue with this who should make the first move thing is indoctrination and like existing straitjacket mentality in everybody. For example, women from time.
Too much,
I'll try to break it down next time to your low acumen.
Ouch!
You can see why I'm not coming. You can see why I'm not coming. I like it. You come in next time. Go on.
Yeah, so, like, you know, women who've been taught or we know or we believe right from being kids that okay, the men are supposed to make this move, right? And then, like, at the end of the day, we end up feeling like we're the prize. But that may not always be the case.
That's the problem.
I mean, and then, like, when you don't meet a guy who feels like he's the prize, we're like, oh, how? But then,
so I say there's no prize.
I'm saying, I mean, like, there's situations where the guy could be the prize.
Of course. High price, high standard price.
Normal.
Please. Okay, let's agree that both of them are the prize. We are
You can't do that, actually.
Why not? Why should you be prized and I won't be a prize?
There are situations where, that's the thing, there are different types of relationships. There's some times when the both of them are good prizes on their own. But there's some clear instances where either the man is the prize or the woman is the prize.
What makes him
a
prize? He has money.
That is
depending
reality.
on what
you know what I think though? I think that the way you treat somebody really matters a lot. And here's my conclusion, or yes, what I always do. Regardless of who speaks first, I am cautious enough to understand that that person is another human being. I've been in situations where we were friends and the girl started to really love me and I wasn't in that same space. I can give you a number, contact, email address. I never treated like shit. I would acknowledge that I understand how you feel.
But I don't feel
the same way. But it doesn't make you less of a person.
Yeah.
I think the problem is when people feel the person that because you came to that man. No. It's just each circumstance.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So the way you respond and you treat the person.
True.
Because like I said, if we overflog being, I want to know you first, not know you first, it's not even as important as the relationship. Because some people, they will take it out because you came to meet me, I'm the king. You should never.
Yeah.
Because even if somebody comes to meet me and says she likes me, I know what he took for her to do that. But that doesn't mean that I will make her feel less of a person or not treat her right or buy her flowers.
Exactly.
But the thing is that people are mean. Yeah. Just because you think that way, there are a lot of guys. Oh my god, and that's because of what you said. That we grew up believing that the girl should be the one to
be
pursued. The same way the Igbos were killing
women will not. There's some women that will never.
See, there's something I said earlier
around you if you have not like done certain things. Like in their head is like that. Before I can even look at this guy, there's some things you should have done for me. Which just to say, like for example, like proper Lagos girls, like if you've not spent like 1 or 2. They don't believe that you've treated them well enough for them to even consider you
being
eligible
in a relationship.
You understand what I'm saying?
So
it's a mentality problem for me.
So and that's why we're doing.
Why do you think girls do that?
I think that's the point of this
madness.
podcast.
I
don't think it's madness. I think they want. Well, maybe it's me being very optimistic, but I think they want to know that you can actually take care of them.
So that's the point. When you even look at the relationship as taking care.
Yes, why? Why
are
you
actually
because guys that
why are you looking at relationships?
I have
thank you.
Yeah, I get that, but then naturally guys are always the ones that are supposed to put the bread on the table, and this is what. So yeah, women want to feel like, okay, this guy can actually take care of me before I can even think about him in a relationship, because you can't just come into this relationship and I'm an independent person, so I don't see it differently, but so I want to know that, okay, you have what it takes to weather the storm if anything happens to me, and that's really how a lot of people see these things. The guy is the breadwinner.
Okay, I feel like the bread can be shared, but I agree with you, and I think that the main problem that's happening right now is that people acknowledge the facts. I feel like women should be pursued, and that is society. It can be both ways. But I agree with what you're saying. But I also feel like this is where we have kept ourselves for so long, and this is the reason why sometimes in a relationship, when there's no money and sex, people are handicapped. My point is that it's part of the journey, but it should not be the destination. To see that all you need to do is because this guy is, yes, we agree, take care of me, but there are a couple of things that do not happen. I've seen people, married couples and all that, even when the guy was a baller before they got married and he's having financial issues. But because of that, he's handicapped. He can't talk to the person anymore because he feels like his money that I used to buy this person. So the day that there's no more money,
affections are gone.
Yeah, affection. And then the woman, and it's even both ways. The woman doesn't respect him anymore.
Yeah.
Because
that was what she got.
The respect is based on money and sex and all that. So, and we know these things, even as a single person. Or I'm not pointing to you, by the way. But even as a single person, I know. My point is, there are days where it's not the bread no day, but thank God for savings or something. And at that time, do you love yourself less?
No.
So why should somebody else person make you feel? And this is both ways. People are cray-cray. Do you understand? People are cray-cray. I
honestly think that this is what they were taught from the onset. Like, you grew up in the house where your dad had to provide everything, so your mom automatically taught you better be with a guy who has to bring home the bag and all of that. So
I don't know about you though, but some from my mom, actually they buy this ice cream. So it's honestly, both ways. Yes, if Papa not just bag of rice, but my mom will buy ice cream and chicken.
The thing is that I just feel like the way society has rounded it up is like there must be something to provide. You must be like everybody.
Yeah, it's okay. It's part of it.
It's okay. It's nice. It's nice and all. Yeah, but like I feel like those expectations are really based on two of you as a person, like as a relationship. In a relationship, you guys have to define what you want.
Yeah,
just be hardworking.
If you prefer your wife be the breadwinner, I mean,
if it works for you,
it's for you guys.
That's fine.
Forget the fact that people always look at society when it comes to relationship. I don't know why, but it's a relationship. It's me and you. Nobody else is supposed to know. Like, why the fuck will someone know that? Why exactly? Why exactly will I say? Sorry about the language. Sorry about the language.
Okay,
actually, but like, why exactly will someone tell me that I have to? Let's say I want my wife now to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Why exactly should someone be telling me that? Do you get
Yeah.
that kind of thing? I just feel like
That makes sense.
going back to the first question, yeah.
Yeah.
Who should shoot
The
the
first
shot? Who
shot,
should
yeah.
shoot the first shot? Yeah, it's
Final
not
words.
final words.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Final words. Whoever enjoys the chasing should do it.
Okay.
Final was you and your wife, you boy helpmates. The relationship is not as the acting out is not as important than what you guys would get into.
So the action is
relationship.
not important. Like,
So whoever can talk, whoever can do this thing, both of you can be breadwinners at any time point.
Kosy, we are the host. Tell me, what's your own?
My final word, I think, people should just learn to be kind to each other. So if someone comes to ask you out, please just, even if you don't like the person, don't be mean about it. Because I think that's the main issue. People don't want to make the first move because they're afraid that the rejection they'll get will be scarring. But if everyone knows that, okay, even if I tell him and he doesn't like me, or if I tell her and she doesn't like me, she's going to address it from a place of, kindness, then more people will make the first shot and more relationships will happen, because sometimes people are just scared. But if everyone is kind, you won't really have that fear. Yes, you may be rejected, but at least the person is going to be nice about it, and you can move on and find someone else. So that's my final thought.
Okay, my own is that
Rejection is part of life. But go on. Learn to accept rejection.
okay,
But go on.
true. My own final word is that if you are not my spec and you come to me, I would say no. Just the same way a girl, if I'm not her spec and she comes to me, she will say no. It's just basic life. That's how it is. If you are not
if you go to her and she says
exactly,
no,
and say no, I'm fine. If you should be fine with it, actually, and move on. If someone else comes, if you go to someone and the person say no, you should be fine with rejection.
Rejection
Honestly,
should not.
That's
keep
my
you
own
from
final
making
word.
moves.
It doesn't have to be. If you are chasing, yes, it's fine. If you chase and you don't get to get the person, move on with your life.
Yeah,
man.
Onishi now. I'm moving on.
Okay, that's it for today and for this podcast. I think we have to end it, yeah?
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
Brought a lot of
you.
insightful views.
And
And by the
stories,
way,
like juicy stories.
yeah, like this
our
our 17-year-old.
Somebody start chase me. With me, I'm not doing all these things people are doing. After now, chase me.
Okay.
Spend the money, okay?
She has Ringo, guys. She has Ringo.
I didn't want to say that.
She has
Okay.
Ringo.
Please, even though you are in crypto, I tech babe, chase me.
It's all about the money.
I beg, come on,
thanks,
chase
guys.
me.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for coming on this ride with us.
Yeah.
Till
Thank
next
you so
time.
much. Bye, guys.
Bye.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.